do you know that it's time to review Green Lantern Blackest Night?
Yes. So, Green Lantern, Blackest Night, one of the most epic major storylines in DC Comics history. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not read this, by all means, pause this episode, go read it, and then come back and listen to what we have to say, because it's amazing and it has lasting effects to this day on DC Comics. So, first off is the creative team, and writer obviously is Jeff Johns. Artwork goes to Ivan Rice. Inks go to Eau Claire Albert, and colors to Alex Sinclair. Now, doing kind of a recap for the story. So basically, this is like not too long after, and Jamie, correct me if I'm wrong, but not too long after Hal Jordan had stopped being the Spectre and had come back into the role of Green Lantern. Is that right? It wasn't too far away from that.
You're only 55 issues difference.
Right, but in the time frame of
if the time frame of what goes into what, him coming back is after that, yes.
Yeah, it wasn't too far away from that. So basically you've got a lot of corruption and differences going on Oa, and the Guardians, or whatever they're called, have kept certain information from Lanterns, but you have the Black Lantern, Necron, or whatever his name is, that is coming forward. The Black Hand is coming in, and characters, heroes and villains, are getting these black rings and rising from the grave and attacking. Aquaman being one of them. He was dead at this time. Maxwell Lord was dead at this time. Who else had died? There's several other characters. Right.
Man. Yeah.
It just goes from there. And I love that the story focused more on Green Lantern, obviously Hal Jordan as the main character, but Mara played a significant role. Ray Palmer, the Atom, played a huge part in this. The Flash was a major actor in this. And Jamie, I even said this to you. I love the fact that they really pulled back on Superman and Wonder Woman and let some of these other characters really have their moment to shine that usually don't. And that scene with Hawkman and Hawkgirl, holy smokes. That was one of the most heartbreaking and epic scenes I had read in a comic book in a long time. So
you talked the one from the first issue, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like when Ray Palmer's talking to him on the phone, and it just, yeah, it's bad. But so to give my rating on this, the writing for Jeff Johns, top notch, 10 out of 10. That goes without saying. This is 8 issues, and it is unreal. And the action, like as soon as it gets going in the first issue, it does not stop, and it just terrorizes. And even the Annie monitor, like this is kind of giving it away a little bit, but like at the end they're working on trying to do the white light, the white lantern, the essence of life itself. And Sinestro dives in there and he's like, I've got it, it's my time to take care of business. I'm gonna do this. I'm saving I'm saving the universe. And the one Guardian is like, nope, he's not going to, because it's more about him than it is about everybody else. So he's not going to do that. That was epic too. And when Lex Luthor got the orange it
was ring, perfect,
dude.
Mine.
Mara got rage. She got the red ring, and she's fighting Wonder Woman, who currently is a Black Lantern at this time. And Luthor comes in there decked out in orange and all this stuff, and he's like, I want it all. I want all your rings, give them to me. And it was just unbelievable. So yeah, writing 10 out of 10. Artwork is a straight 9 out of 10. Overall is a 9.5 out of 10 for me.
All right, and now I'll go to me. And this is one like I read years ago, but when I first read it, I didn't have all the comic knowledge I've had of all these characters. Now I have even more. So it was nice to revisit it. And then Jamie, you recommended some good tie-in stories. So I was reading some of the Green Lantern Corps, read the Blackest Night Batman 3-part series that went along with it. But yeah, reading it, and Jamie, you did a great job talking us through it. So I don't want to basically repeat you, but yeah, I love, obviously this story, like we said, is one of the biggest stories in DC history. And it's pretty cool to see all the characters dead, and they did a good way of bringing them back. And you introduced like Black Hand, a good villain. We also got to see Necron, another good one there too.
I love the twist about the resurrected characters too. The Black Rings counted them as dead, and they went after them, and that's why it was chasing the Flash and Hal Jordan around and took over Superman and Wonder Woman. Amazing.
Yeah, and I'd say the artwork. I would say was, for me, I think some of the best artwork I've seen in any comic, and I'm glad they have it in paperback form. I'm sure online still looks very nice, but some of the images, like you were saying, especially when they have like a big, like here's one of the Spectre out there.
Yes.
You see some really nice ones, even too at the end. And later on, there's a lot of big ones. Yeah, like here we go, some more.
Yeah.
Some more of the artwork. Yes. So
good old Copperhead.
Yeah, some of the best artwork I would say that I've ever seen. And my one little critique is, I have mentioned this before, I don't really like when superheroes, we know that there's huge characters, and then it seems like they get beat or almost killed rather quickly. Like I'm like, oh, they didn't last long. I'm like, if it was a different writer, somebody, this character, they'd be making it last a bit longer. Like I said, I really like the Hawkman, Hawkgirl scene. I like, but I was like, I don't really think they'd go down that fast. So that's the one thing with me. Always, and I feel like certain characters get beat too quick. But other than that, like I said, I love the story. It's like I said, an epic event. Like you said, you got all the all-stars in there. But one thing you made a good point, Tim, is I like that it focused more. Like I said, it wasn't Superman saving the day, Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
It was Green Lantern. Like I said, Green Lantern, Flash, the Atom. So I really liked. It was nice to see Hal Jordan take the lead. Like, okay, good, they're not the same characters. And
yeah, a lot of characters that you see as super supporting characters really took the spotlight this time around. Flash is a major player, but he's not an A-lister. You know what I mean? People can argue with me on that all day long, but he's a high B+ lister.
Did you just say Flash is an A-list player?
He's not an A-list character.
I'm gonna edit that part out just in case our friend's dad sees this. He's gonna punch the screen.
When you think of DC Comics, what are the first 3 characters you think of? Superman,
Green Lantern,
Batman,
Flash,
and Wonder
Superman.
Woman. You're different. You're an exception to the rule.
Okay.
I mean, I still would say he's an A-list character, but I do think the 3 of Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. But like I said, still, those are the 3 who seem to constantly take the lead on all these big stories. So it was nice, like I said, to see Green Lantern and Flash and them take it. And like I said, it was huge. Like I said, still an impact to this day. And I said, it truly is what you would call an epic story, an epic event, an epic story. One of the ones a must read, especially if you're a DC fan.
Oh, yeah.
But for me, Tim, I'm going to think like you. I was like, story. I was giving a story more of a 9. I remember reading it, just obviously really enjoyed it. But I was like, this is the best written. But artwork for me was more on the 10. But then I'm like, okay, there's more to it. Like I said, it has a legendary, long-lasting effect. So it isn't, for me, I go past the 9.5 and I say 9.8.
Interesting.
Green
Right
Lantern,
on.
Blackest Night.
Because you're right there.
I'm right there. So just the one little thing was when I felt characters get beat too fast. Is my one little critique. So 9.8 for Green Lantern, Blackest Night from me.
That's very respectful. Right on.
All right. So I have 2 scores because I'm the crazy one that read all the tie-ins and bought them all. And I read the 8 issues. I read the 8 issues. That's the one comic I will read yearly. And that's what I want to do because I needed an excuse to read it again.
No problem with that. No problem.
Yeah,
with that.
exactly. Nope. But yeah, so for a lot of people that don't know, all the big hitters were gone. Especially if you read Justice League of America at that time, it was the second tier characters that became the characters. So you had Donna Troy as Wonder Woman. I think it was Connor as Superman, so on and so forth. Dick Grayson was Batman, all that. So there's a long period of time where we didn't have those characters, and them to come back and Blackest Night be resurrected, and go into Brightest Day, which is a whole different ball game, was great to see. It was a good way to bring them back. It didn't feel like most times when you do a reboot of something, you feel like it was forced. This didn't feel forced. This felt planned out for a long time. Like they nailed it down and wanted to work on this. Like Sonny read Batman. You've seen the struggle of Dick Grayson being Batman, after he left, trying to work with Damian. So like you've seen more in those tie-ins that actually were tie-ins. Like it was the first event that I've ever read fully, and I've read a lot of events fully because of this, that actually each tie-in mattered.
Like all those singular issues that came out for Blackest Day for long dead titles and things like that.
Yes, everybody that had like Brightest Day or Blackest Night, each issue mattered because it was something that was going along. Like if you saw a panel of one character and then that character like left, that panel started one of their books.
Interesting.
Or was like a lead into one of their books. It was the same thing. It wasn't, I think they tried to do the same thing with Forever Evil. They did the same thing. It worked, but it didn't work as well. But yeah, no, I love the story. I love all like each character that they gave a ring to matched them perfectly. Giving Flash the Blue Lantern. You got Lex Luthor as orange. Mara is red. It just, and my favorite, the Indigo Lanterns that can't speak any type of language, knock, and then that's it.
What did she say? Oh, she said this.
Yeah. It, to me, if I had to give just the 8 issues a grade, I would be at 9.9. Like my biggest problem with that is I felt like they should have left the main character out. At least one. Yes, I felt like they,
specific.
No, I mean it could have been any heavy hitter, and I would have been okay with it. Like have one of them go down. I felt like that was just the ploy. Like it was a great plan to keep everybody, to bring everyone back. But you have to have a heartbreak in bringing people back.
Yeah.
And we didn't. We just got everybody. They're like, have fun. And, here's the gameplay. You got all the characters now. If they would have left out, like, if they were like, hey, we got everyone but Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
How much do you think that would have changed DC universe? You know what I mean? How much of a scale would it tipped?
Right. Very true.
So that was my thing. It was 9.9. If you add tie-ins, it's perfect time. But yeah, I felt like they needed to leave out a heavy hitter, or at least somebody that tugs on the heartstrings. Like if they would have went like, they killed Dick Grayson and Bruce came back as Batman, that would have been even better too.
They can't get rid of somebody that big though, or at least not for too
long.
I
would have been, yeah, but it still would have been like, okay, that pulled on the heartstrings. Like, not everyone escaped is my point. Like,
right, yeah.
So, yeah, those are my ratings. Like I said, Sonny's got a good point with everybody. They got taken out too soon, but I think if they would have kept one big person gone, they're not big as in the sense of like the big three or the Trinity. I'm talking like somebody that was a character, a beloved character, didn't have to be someone that had their own book.
Bizarro.
It could have been. You could have honestly left out like Aqualad or something.
Yeah, very true.
Everyone lived, but Aqualad stayed dead.
Yeah, you stayed. Or like
funny, yeah. Always stayed dead.
Like Roy Harper. He part of what was it? This came out. It was DC 6-issue thing they just did. Infinite, DC Infinite. He was dead for a while, and then a Black Lantern ring came back and brought him back to life.
Oh wow!
Like that's the first time we've seen a Black Lantern ring since this point, besides Death Metal, I think.
See, and that's a series I still have to read too.
That'd be a pretty funny image if we had like all the characters like live, and you just see one is still laying there dead. Yeah,
that would have been the best thing ever. Like it's just Roy Harper, like. You should have. This is why you don't do needles in the arms, guys. Like,
oh my god.
This is what happens.
When you get resurrected, you stay dead. You're the one who stays dead. Yeah, an epic story, and even like I said, some of the tie-ins. I liked reading this time around with some of the tie-ins. I believe it was Green Lantern Corps. I think for number 1.
Tales of the Green Lantern Corps.
Tales of the Green Lantern Corps. Thank you. And it was it gave the origin story of Black Hand, and it really made me a lot bigger of a fan of him. Like, okay, now the story means more, knowing his story. And
the family in that. You know what I'm talking about, right? Oh my god.
Family, yeah. Yes.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's a good one to check out. Yeah. And then too, also one of the, I believe it was, or was that one of Green Lantern 43 and Tales of the Green Lantern Corps? Or one of them was, I get the two mixed up. So I think the Black Hand story might have been Green Lantern 43 and the Tales of the Green Lantern Corps, just multiple. And one of the guys' story, I like Saint Walker. So seeing Saint Walker in the story with the Blue Ring, like in the actual story, the 8 issues, he didn't have much of a part. But when I seen him after reading that, I was like, "There's Saint Walker."
Our guy.
That was weird. Yeah, there's a guy. He doesn't have much to say, but when you read some of those tie-ins, everybody has a story behind him, and then it makes the story even mean a lot more.
Real fast fun fact: he's been gone since then. No one can find him. Like, everyone's like, "Oh, I wish Saint Walker was here," and they're like, "Yeah, we still haven't found him."
Hashtag bring back. Hashtag find Saint Walker.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah, but guys, so there we go. Green Lantern Blackest Night. Tim, you say 9.5.
Yep, 9.5.
I say 9.8. And Jamie, you say 10 out of 10.
Yeah, we're going 10 out of 10. I was like 9.9, and I'm like, yeah, I read 10 out of 10.
You know the time, so Jamie gives a 10 out of 10.